Today, the man charged with killing a well-known Harris County deputy asked to have the judge in the case recused.
This as he represents his own defense in his capital murder trial. Sherman Chow spent the afternoon in court where there was another twist in this legal drama, Sherman.
And in another unusual move, Solis saved his opening arguments and presented them today, day 5 of the case, after the prosecution rested and before he presented his defense.
I stand before you an innocent man, but I believe that I will be able to show that I had no intentions of killing this man.
Robert Solis' opening statement was less than 1 minute long. He is accused of gunning down Harris County Deputy Sandeep Dhaliwal during a traffic stop in 2019. Prosecutors showed images from Dhaliwal's dash cam and body camera showing Solis exiting his vehicle, pointing a gun at the deputy before Dhaliwal was killed. Solis began by questioning an acquaintance, Larry Covey. Covey testified Solis had called him, saying he just shot a cop and wanted a ride. Covey said, quote, "I told him he was a dead man. I wasn't going nowhere near him." Next on the stand, Jennifer Size, a passenger in Solis' car that day. She testified during the traffic stop. Solis said, "I am not going back to jail." Court records show Solis had a violent criminal history and a parole violation at the time of the shooting. Size, currently a TDCJ inmate, also testified Solis had spoken in the past about having the sight to see good and evil in people and agreed he had a fear of law enforcement. Solis was admonished several times for failing to follow legal procedures, Judge Chris Morton saying, quote, "I cannot allow you to have special privileges merely because you represent yourself." And Sandeep Dhaliwal, of course, was a very well-known deputy. He wore his turban and beard as a mark of his Sikh faith. Sherman Chow, KHOU 11 News.
Oh, I'm not going to stay long. This is going to be real quick. I have a few questions and I'll offer my opinion. I would like to know, why is the judicial system in the United States allowing these people to post bond over and over and over, and while they're out on bond, they get into other shit? And then you have the family members that know that they have a family member that's just habitual, but yet you go out there and you post a bond for him or her to get out and shit all over you, because when they forfeit the bond, you lose your money, you lose your house, whatever you put up for collateral, you lose. Dealing with somebody that you already know is habitual. I just have those two questions, and here's my offer of an opinion. Leave their ass in jail when you know that their ass is habitual. Why are you bailing them out? Why? Why would you do that? Because the end result is that if they are guilty of the crime that they do, they need to pay the time for the crime that they did. That's my opinion. You might not like it. Leave a comment. We can talk about it. And the next thing is, why do we have these men who are guilty as hell representing themselves in court? There are two major cases going on where the criminal is representing himself, and that would be this dude right here, Solis, and Darrell Brooks, the Christmas parade massacre guy. Everybody know you did the shit. Didn't nobody jump in your skin and pretend to be you. It was your ass who did it. What the hell? This is just a waste of time and taxpayers' money. I hope they hurry up and get both of these cases out the way so everybody can move on. This is just ridiculous.
And he calls me and he said, "Come pick me up, please. I'm at the Kroger." I shot a policeman. I said, "Robert, where did you shoot this policeman?" He said, "In the head." I said, "I don't know you. You're a dead man. You're gone, dude."
An incredible interview right there. You just heard him recounting that conversation, which he says he had with Robert Solis moments after he says Solis shot and killed the deputy. That deputy, Dhaliwal, of course, killed during that traffic stop on September the 27th.
Solis has since been arrested and charged with pulling the trigger. And this afternoon, the man that you heard there who spoke to Solis after the shooting is telling ABC 13's Ted Oberg about that conversation and shedding some new light on what happened happened that day. Ted joining us now live in the studio, and really just shocking. Here's Ted.
It is. It doesn't get much better, Mel. Today, new details from the man whose girlfriend was in the car with Robert Solis when the accused killer was pulled over that afternoon. It appears Solis knew the deputy had figured out there was a warrant for his arrest and may have been trying to get away from the alleged murder. The last time we saw Larry Covey, Harris County Sheriff's deputies were detaining him near the scene of Deputy Sandeep Dhaliwal's cold-blooded murder. Covey was let go that night and hasn't been charged.
You know, everybody thinks I'm involved, and I'm not.
Covey, his friends call him Hawk, met us today to make sure his neighbors and city know.
I didn't have anything to do with this.
But he does know details we haven't yet heard about that awful afternoon. Covey's girlfriend, who was also released, was in the car with accused killer Robert Solis that afternoon. After Deputy Dhaliwal pulled Solis over, Covey says Solis gave the deputy a fake name and Dhaliwal had figured it out.
He came back and said, no, there's nobody there, but that name is not real. Yeah, this is not you.
And at that point, Robert likely knew they'd figured out something was going on.
I guess, I don't know, because she said, why are you lying? And he said, I have a blue warrant.
A blue warrant, meaning Solis was wanted for parole violations. Minutes later, Covey picked his girlfriend up from that traffic stop and drove to work, leaving Solis alone with Dhaliwal on the side of the street.
Just about the time we got to the job site, he calls her and said, I shot a cop. And she said, click, hung up.
Covey says Solis then called him, looking to get away from the scene.
And he calls me, and he said, come pick me up, please, I'm at the Kroger. I shot a policeman. I said, Robert, where did you shoot this policeman? He said, in the head. I said, I don't know you, you're a dead man, you're gone, dude.
Covey obviously didn't go pick Solis up, but deputies were able to track Covey and his girlfriend down quickly. Covey drove them both back to the scene where deputies detained them both for questions.
They just came running out with guns and drug us out of the car.
Larry Covey is not charged and is not a suspect. Solis is, of course, charged with capital murder. He's not yet entered a plea. Our calls to his attorney were not returned.
Of the thousands of deputies in the state's largest sheriff's office, Deputy Sandeep Dhaliwal stands out from the rest.
Yes, I had head turns, but those head turns is good for me. And I say, hey, how are you? You have a question?
He has the badge, he has the gun, but what completes his uniform is a turban.
I have more confidence now that my identity is complete.
It's also an opportunity for Dhaliwal to help people learn about his religion. You see, his is the world's 5th largest, and yet Sikhs are often misunderstood. In the months following the 9/11 attacks, a dark shadow was unfairly cast over his beloved faith. More than 300 hate crimes against Sikhs were reported. The latest in 2008, a mass shooting in Wisconsin at a Sikh temple called a Gurudwara. It was at the Houston Gurudwara where Dhaliwal decided to help shed light on Sikhism.
I was sitting in the congregation like I was sitting today, hearing Sheriff Garcia talking about, I think he was here to make up, give a community a hope to look forward to something to bring the trust back.
Dhaliwal joined the Harris County Sheriff's Office in 2009 as a detention officer. He didn't wear a turban because it wasn't allowed. In fact, the last time he wore the headpiece was when he was in India.
I did cut my hair before I came here because I'm thinking of a teenager like, I want to get accepted.
In February, the sheriff welcomed genuine articles of faith as a component of the department's uniform.
Clearly, it's a message saying we welcome each and every one of you with open arms.
Bobby Singh is a devoted member of the Sikh congregation and invited us to the Gurudwara for a Sunday service.
We pray to one, the God, right, and equality for all.
While it is mandatory for men to wear turbans, women don't have to. They usually just wear scarves inside of the temple.
And the hair, it's grown long for a reason.
It is preservation of what God has given us. So we clearly respect it, we honor it.
Dhaliwal's wife is overjoyed her husband can finally represent their religion, but there's also fear.
I do have a concern when he's out with the turban, but I pray for God, and I hope we educate people about them.
Dhaliwal's partner on the force admits he too was worried.
The instant fear of some of the ignorance out here, of some of the looks he might get or the threats we might get because of it.
Believe it or not, I mean, I have not had any negative interactions so far. Tomorrow, I don't know.
He's chasing bad guys. He's stopping drug dealers. He's, stopping robbers, all that kind of stuff.
He does stand out, and he stands tall.
But I just want to let him know that we got his back no matter what.
We know Deputy Dhaliwal has ours.
Proud to be a Harris County deputy.
Rashi Vats, Fox 26 News.